I do not talk about narcissistic abuse in the context of spirituality and relate them to God, call them demons because these are buzzwords that I like to throw around. I talk about narcissism in relation to spirituality and connect their personality with evil because of my personal experiences. I would say two reasons. The first reason being what I get to hear and see on a daily basis in my sessions with a lot of survivors like you, the devastation, the level of destruction caused by these beings is unsurmountable. No amount of words would ever be enough to express the anger that I feel when I hear somebody telling me I worked for my narcissistic father my entire life, and at the end of it, he left me not even a penny. There are so many stories that I can share with you, but that is the first reason. It's nothing but pure evil. The second reason being my own personal experiences with narcissists and demonic entities. Today, in this episode, I'm going to talk about how my father was extremely triggered by my spiritual side and how he did everything in his capacity to stop me, to put obstacles in my way. If you want to know all these details and understand why I am so interested in the spirituality of narcissism, stay until the very end. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, your host. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, it's my request that you consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, because your subscription may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Now, a little background for you. Since I was a child, I have been in search of the truth, the absolute. What is the truth? The truth stands for the connection with the absolute that is called by different names in different religions. So it was in me. And coming from a Muslim background, I started praying, meditating, chanting, doing all the things at a very, very young age. Nobody told me to do so. Nobody guided me. It just came from within. It felt like what I was seeking me. That's a famous quote by Rumi. When I started becoming really religious and tried to establish a strong connection with my creator, my father got triggered as if he was a demon, the agent, the foot soldier of the devil himself. He couldn't stop himself from abusing me, berating me, humiliating me. Who does that? He should have been happy that my son is so connected with his soul and wants to know where he came from, where he has to go, what the purpose of his life is. I mean, all those are qualities. But it seems that at the time he wanted me to be a ruffian, possibly a person who, like him, would do all the unacceptable things, be deceitful, manipulative, a big gaslighter, and abusive to others. But that's not who I was. However, that was the role he expected me to play. So when he saw me praying and doing all the ritualistic things to initiate something, he wouldn't only humiliate me in isolation at a personal level, but would take it to an extra level. He would talk about my spirituality in front of others. By others, I mean the relatives, who would then laugh at me. He was so cruel in his approach that all the books that he saw me reading about God, divine, the universe, all these big spiritual truths, he burnt them. He cut them in half, tore them apart in pieces. Once he caught me using a prayer bead to remember God, and he snatched it away. Before doing that, he slapped me really hard as if I was committing a big sin. Then he destroyed it right in front of me with that sadistic smirk on his face. It's not just one time, it happened hundreds of times, but I didn't stop. I kept buying, getting a new one, but kept them hidden because I was afraid that if he ever gets to know that I am praying, I am meditating, I am remembering God, he will reveal his true demonic self. This is the reason why I say they are demons, because I can't make sense of it. Why else would you be bothered by me trying to connect with divine? Of course, you do not want me to connect with my own light. Of course, you do not want me to know the absolute truth. You do not want me to align my life with a purpose for the fulfillment of which I have been created. It becomes a big threat to you. I've created tons of episodes explaining how you were chosen by God and how that narcissist was chosen by the devil himself. My personal experience proved that to me. He did that not only to my books, to my peers who shared the same mentality. He isolated me from them. He made sure to go into my phone and scan for all the people whom I can be in touch with. He made sure that I remain distracted from connecting with the divine source, the source of all that is. Now, you tell me, my dear survivor, if that is not demonic, what is? Once I overheard him telling my mother, "What is your son doing? Has he gone crazy? The children of his age go after girls and they do nasty, naughty things. And here he goes, he prays." He made it seem like I was putting up a show, that it was a performance, that I was praying, remaining clean, dressing nicely, wearing a perfume. I mean, showing my devotion towards God because I wanted attention. And that today makes sense because it was a projection. That tells me that he prayed because he wanted others to think of him as a great and devoted servant of what created him. The truth is, he, or should I say, his false self, is his God. The God that you and me talk about, connect with, is unknown to a narcissistic, selfish, dark, evil being because they do not see beyond their shadow. How come and how can they accept that there is an entity bigger and more powerful than them? If you see a religious narcissist, just understand they're using religion as a shield to contain their true nature, to hide their predatory self. So that is how my life was. He did put me through that torture, but he's not the only criminal. My mother, who was a covert narcissist, played the mind games. She never directly stopped me from anything, but she poisoned him all the time against me. He would sit and then listen to her. She would complain to him about all the things that I used to do at the time during the day, that he wakes up and prays and does this, and he has a prayer beat, and he is trying to learn about different religions. Mind you, my father was really orthodox in approach, like my truth, my religion is the only true religion. I am not that type of a person. As I covered it already in yesterday's episode, I believe in transcendent unity, the esoteric unity of all religions, whatever that may mean for you. So that just escalated everything. He saw me as his enemy. And I will be honest with you, because of all that torture and abuse and being forced to live in the same environment, I had to disconnect from the divine. And that changed, should I say, made my life difficult in a lot of ways. It's only since I have left and gone no contact with them, I've been able to reestablish that connection on my terms and in my own way. And I'm trying to go deeper and deeper in search of the truth, or should I say, enlightenment or connection, reunion, whatever you may want to put it as. What have been your experiences with all of this? Please let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you agree with my spiritual understanding of narcissism. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.